Before you give up on English, listen to this story. Because one day I went from being too afraid to speak to becoming a confident English speaker. Hello and welcome back to another video. It's a powerful motivational story for English learners. It's about how I became a good English speaker. I still remember the day I realized something painful. I was sitting alone in my room, staring at the wall, asking myself a painful question. Will I ever speak English confidently? I felt stuck. I felt left behind. Every day I promised myself, tomorrow I will speak better. But tomorrow came and nothing changed. I wanted to speak English, not just understand it, not just learn grammar, not just memorize words. I wanted to speak English confidently. I wanted to speak without fear. But there was one problem. I was afraid, very afraid. Afraid of mistakes, afraid of forgetting words, afraid that people would laugh at me, afraid that my English would sound bad. Every time I tried to speak English, my heart beat fast. My mind became empty. Even simple words disappeared. I knew vocabulary. I knew grammar. But when it was time to speak, nothing came out. Sometimes I opened my mouth and suddenly stopped. Sometimes I spoke one sentence and felt embarrassed. Sometimes I practiced in front of the mirror and thought, maybe English is not for me. And slowly, something dangerous happened. I started comparing myself to others. I saw people speaking English beautifully, fluently, confidently. And I looked at myself and thought, why am I still bad? Why is English so difficult for me? Maybe I am not smart enough. One night, I almost gave up. I remember lying in bed, holding my phone. I searched. Why can't I speak English? I watched many videos. Some people said, study more grammar. Others said, memorize 1,000 words. Others said, practice every day. But honestly, I felt tired, very tired. I had already studied grammar. I had already learned many words. Still, I could not speak confidently. Then something happened that changed my life. One day, I was watching a video of an English learner. He was not perfect. He made mistakes. His pronunciation was not amazing. Sometimes he stopped and searched for words. But something surprised me. He was speaking. He was not afraid. He was not waiting to become perfect. And suddenly, I asked myself a question that changed everything. What if good English speakers are not fearless? What if they are just people who speak even when they are afraid? That question stayed in my mind. For days, weeks, I could not stop thinking about it. Maybe confidence comes after speaking. Maybe confidence is not something you wait for. Maybe confidence is something you build. Little by little, day by day, mistake by mistake. So I made a decision, a very small decision. I told myself I will stop waiting to become perfect. I will just start. The next morning, I tried something simple. I stood in front of the mirror. I looked at myself and I spoke English. Only for 2 minutes. Very simple sentences. Hello, how are you? My name is. Today I feel tired. I want to improve my English. It felt strange, very strange. I felt embarrassed. Even though nobody was there, I made mistakes. I stopped many times. I forgot words. But something important happened. I started. The next day, I did it again. 2 minutes became 5. 5 became 10. 10 became 15. Slowly, speaking English stopped feeling impossible. Was I fluent? No. Was I confident? Not really. But I was improving. Then I changed something else. I stopped studying English like a school subject. I started living English. This changed everything. Before, English was only grammar books, rules, exercises, tests. But now, English became part of my daily life. I watched videos in English. I listened to simple podcasts. I read short stories. I repeated sentences aloud. I shadowed native speakers. Sometimes I sounded funny. Sometimes I sounded terrible. But I kept going. I stopped asking, how fast can I become fluent? And started asking, how can I improve today? Just today. Not next year. Not 6 months. Just today. One new word, one short video, 10 minutes of speaking, one English story, that was enough. And slowly, something beautiful started happening. English stopped feeling scary. I started understanding more. I started thinking in English sometimes. Very small thoughts at first. I am hungry. I need coffee. This movie is good. Simple things. But those small moments felt magical, because for the first time, English was becoming natural. Then came one of the hardest moments of my journey, speaking with real people. I was terrified. My hands felt cold. My heart beat fast. I thought, what if they laugh? What if they don't understand me? What if I make mistakes? But I remembered something important. I had already made thousands of mistakes alone. Why stop now? So one day I joined an English-speaking group online. I was shaking. People started speaking. Some were good, some were beginners. Then suddenly someone asked me, would you like to introduce yourself? I froze. My mind became empty. For a few seconds, I wanted to leave. I wanted to close everything. But then I remembered the promise I made to myself. Stop waiting to become perfect. So I took a deep breath and spoke. Hello, my name is. I stopped, forgot words, started again, made mistakes, many mistakes. But something unexpected happened. Nobody laughed. Nobody judged me. People smiled. Some people even made mistakes too. And suddenly I realized something powerful. Most people are too busy worrying about their own mistakes to care about yours. That day changed me. I started speaking more. Not perfectly, but more bravely. Some days were good, some days were terrible. Sometimes I felt confident, sometimes I felt like a complete beginner again. And that is something nobody talks about. Learning English is not a straight line. Sometimes you feel strong, sometimes you feel stuck, sometimes you improve fast, sometimes it feels slow, very slow. There were days I wanted to quit, days I thought, I am still bad. I still make mistakes. Why is this taking so long? But every time I felt like quitting, I remembered something important. The person who never gives up always becomes better. Maybe not fast, but eventually. And I had already come too far to stop. One evening, something happened that we'll never forget. I was watching a video in English. Suddenly, I realized something strange. I understood almost everything. No subtitles, no translating, just understanding. I paused the video and smiled. because I remembered the old version of me, the person who felt lost, the person who thought English was impossible, the person who wanted to quit. And I realized something. Improvement is silent. You don't notice it every day, but one day you suddenly realize, wow, I am better. Not perfect, better. And better is powerful. Then something even more surprising happened. One day I started helping another English learner. They said, I feel shy speaking English. I am afraid of mistakes. And I smiled, because I knew exactly how they felt. I told them, you don't become good before speaking. You become good by speaking. That sentence came from my own pain, from my own fear, from my own journey. Years ago, I thought good English speakers were special people, talented people, lucky people. But now I know something different. Good English speakers are ordinary people who kept going. People who practiced even when they felt embarrassed. People who spoke even when they were afraid. People who made mistakes but refused to stop. And maybe that person can be you too. Because the truth is, you do not need perfect grammar to start. You do not need perfect pronunciation. You do not need to know thousands of words. You just need courage. Small courage. Enough courage to speak one sentence. Enough courage to make one mistake. Enough courage to try again tomorrow. English changed my life. Not because it made me perfect, but because it made me believe in myself. I learned something bigger than language. I learned patience, discipline, confidence, and the power of not giving up. Today, when people tell me, wow, your English is good, they do not see the fear, the embarrassment, the silent nights, the frustration, the mistakes, the moments I wanted to quit, but I remember them, every single one, because those hard moments built me. And if you're reading or listening to this right now, feeling slow, feeling stuck, feeling afraid, I want to tell you something. Please don't quit. One day you will look back and smile. One day English will feel easier. One day words will come naturally. One day confidence will grow. Not suddenly, slowly, quietly, little by little, but it will happen. And one day maybe someone will ask you, how did you become a good English speaker? And you will smile and say, I stopped being afraid of mistakes. I kept going. And I never gave up.